What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and ever since the Rings of Power was announced, I think a lot of us have been upset at how Amazon is treating Tolkien's lore. I think a lot of us have been upset at the marketing of this show, at the cast interviews these woke idiots are doing, because it's obvious that they don't care about Tolkien's work. They don't care about Middle-earth. In fact, they want to turn Middle-earth into this new woke wonderland of their own creation. They don't want to pay homage to what came before. They don't want to honor the source material. They want to create their own little woke wonderland of Harfoots and black elves. But I think a lot of us took solace. Let me at least speak to myself. I was at peace inside, with this situation, because at the very least, we know that Amazon does not have full control to do whatever they want with Tolkien's work. They don't have full control to do whatever they want with the Lord of the Rings and all that stuff. They are very limited to what they could cover in their TV show. So, that put me at ease a little bit, because they can't just ruin everything. In fact, I think a lot of us are coming into this show viewing it as the most expensive fan fiction ever created. To me, it has nothing to do with Tolkien. When I even watched the new preview, I don't see Tolkien at all. So that put me at ease a little bit. That calmed my nerves just a tad bit, knowing that they don't have free reign to do whatever they want. Well, of course, I was wrong. Don't get me wrong, I was right about Amazon not having that control, but I was wrong in thinking that the Rings of Power was the only assault, the only attack on Tolkien's lore that was coming, the only enemy that was on the horizon. It turns out that we are now experiencing a full frontal assault on everything Tolkien. Not only has some other company bought some of the rights to the Lord of the Rings and you name it, and we will get to that in a future video. I've been on vacation for a few days. I know there's been a lot of stuff to come out, and I'm going to cover every single last thing. So hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, because I will be here complaining about Lord of the Rings for a while, and about the Rings of Power, for a while. But another company has bought the rights to start making new shows and products. And now there's a new woke Lord of the Rings, I think Magic the Gathering game coming out. And guess what they did? I'm sure you all already know, but even if you didn't know, even if you did not know what they did, if I asked you, guess what they did, you would probably guess that they either gender swapped or race swapped a prominent character that everyone knows and loves. Because that's all they can do. These people have no creativity. They have nothing to add to the story. They have no flair. The only thing they could do is change characters' races and genders and sexualities for shock factor. So they could point like, hey, look, we made Aragorn black. We're so cool. Not a creative bone in their body, but we all knew this was coming. Rings of Power, they couldn't do it in their show. Best believe if they could, they would. So they're going to introduce it in a game, a little card game. Why? Why is that necessary? Why is it necessary in 2022 to race swap all of these characters? You're not making the world a better place. You're not ending bigotry everywhere because you made Aragorn black in your card game. Think about it. Magic the Gathering, Wizards of the Coast, or whoever runs these companies, I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about those card games at all. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. But I've never picked up a Magic the Gathering card and saw a person of color. I've never picked up a Magic the Gathering card and saw any of that. Why weren't y'all creating more characters of color for your game? Why weren't you creating more cards with characters of color and your various different products that you sell. No. You couldn't do that. You couldn't create original characters. You had to come and race swap Aragorn. Just think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think that all of this wasn't planned? They're all in this together. Don't get me wrong, they're different companies. Every company has a right to do this and a right to do that, and they got this portion of Tolkien's lore. They got this portion. This is a concerted effort. These woke, weird idiots in Hollywood, these bigwigs, the powers that be, they coordinated this plan so it could all coincide with each other. We are about to witness a full-scale attack on everything that is Tolkien. Not only is the Rings of Power going to be a woke, complete dumpster fire that ruins a lot of his lore, all of Tolkien's characters will be race and gender swapped before the end of the year, or, soon enough. And we're going to get more woke TV shows, more woke movies, and before you know it, I give it 5 years tops. 5 years tops before every single thing you ever knew about Tolkien has been dragged out and just absolutely eviscerated from high hell. This, in my opinion, was the plan. They came in, they ruined Star Wars, they burnt Star Wars to the ground, all the way to the point where Solo lost money. I am a big action figure collector. I've been collecting action figures for years. Of course, Star Wars has always been one of the biggest, toy brands. It's not a brand, but it's like the biggest franchise in toys. It's been that way my entire life. I'm 31 years old. Do you know that now, for the first time in my life, when I walk into Walmart and Target and you name it, half the time they don't even have Star Wars toys anymore. When they do, they'll have a couple of them on the shelf. They're not even ordering them anymore. That brand is dying. Star Wars is so big that people will still turn up to see the movies and the shows, but the brand, make no mistake about it, it has been cheapened. It is dying. Like I mentioned, I'm 31 years old, so that means I wasn't alive for the original trilogy. But even then, in the 90s, growing up, well before the prequel trilogy came out, there was still Star Wars toys lining the shelves. The prequel series, or the prequel trilogy comes out. Star Wars toys everywhere. For years, leading up to Disney releasing Force Awakens, still Star Wars toys everywhere. It wasn't until Disney cheapened and ruined the brand that all of a sudden Star Wars products started thinning out. So they ruined that. And they know that. The powers that be, that have these quotas and these different rules that you have to follow in order to make movies and TV shows these days, they know they have ran Star Wars into the ground. It only took them about 4 or 5 years to do so. And now, currently, they are running Marvel into the ground at an alarming rate. Think about it. I don't know how you all feel about this, but it wasn't that long ago that I was in movie theaters super excited for Endgame and Infinity War. Now, I don't even care to watch She-Hulk or any of the Marvel shows. I haven't even seen She-Hulk yet. Maybe I should so I can meme it and laugh at it. But that's just totally out of my character. I'm the type of person that shows up day one to watch something, but no. Marvel's been ran into the ground. They had to find a new property. They had to find a new IP that they could ruin while trying to get across their woke BS messages. Lord of the Rings is that next IP. Now, of course, the Lord of the Rings situation, it's complicated. So maybe Amazon will have a piece, and Wizards of the Coast will have a piece, and this company in Sweden will have a piece, and this company will have a piece. But make no mistake about it, when you put those pieces to the pie together, what you're going to have is a big woke pizza of BS bogus content that has totally destroyed everything that Tolkien ever left behind. But how do you all feel about this? Do you feel how I feel? Do you think this is a concerted effort to now run Tolkien into the ground? To turn Tolkien into some new woke bullshit for everyone to see? To introduce, see what they want to do here is they want to introduce the new generations not to Tolkien's world, but to the SJW woke Tolkien's world. They want kids growing up to watch The Rings of Power and whatever other bogus nonsense that they're going to put out. And they don't want kids reading the original books. They don't want kids watching Peter Jackson's trilogy. Tolkien's books, Peter Jackson's trilogy, they were too good. They were too, how can I put this? They were too heartfelt, if that's the word. Like, you can't tell me that you don't read Tolkien or even watch Peter Jackson's trilogy and not feel that feeling inside. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like something. I can't explain it, but it's a feeling that these SJWs don't want you to get. They don't want you to feel good. They don't want you to see these messages that are downright damn near spiritual. They want you to consume countless hours of bogus content that no thought, no love, and no appreciation was put into. Tolkien, he was very detailed with everything he wrote. Everything he wrote. He had a wise way with words, and he always had, like, it's hard to explain if you haven't written his book, or if you haven't read his book, but the level of detail that Tolkien put into everything, the level of detail that he put into this world that he created, it's legendary. I have never seen anything like it, and I don't think we'll ever see anything like it again. But you see, that is dangerous to the powers that be. Lord of the Rings is too wholehearted. It's too based in the classic good versus evil. It's too based in morals. It's too based in spirituality. And it doesn't matter what religion you're in. I'm not a religious person. I'm not a very religious person at all. But Tolkien was. And he didn't beat you over the head with that in his books. But the messages that were in his books definitely had spiritual meanings. And they want us to get away from stuff like that. And they want us to be consumed with the nonsense that they put out. Nonsense with poor dialogue that does nothing but beat us over the head with current woke politics. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. Listen, I am backed up on videos. I got so much shit to talk about the Rings of Power, and I cannot wait. I hope you all are excited. Ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all on the next video.